Good morning. Welcome all. Uh, Good morning, Swati Hegde ma'am. Welcome. Hope you can unmute yourself now. I have changed the setting.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Good morning. I would like to introduce speaker for the day, Swati Hegde. Swati Hegde holds a BE degree in electrical and electronics engineering. She has founded CASE Foundation, an anti-cyberbullying non-profit forum currently operating in 3 Asian countries, including India, Indonesia, and Pakistan. Superseded to tackle all forms of digital abuse, harassment, and bullying online. Mediated to promote kindness, diversity, and inclusion by building a safer, more positive digital community. Has also won 3M Innovation Impact Award for Samatva, bagged first prize at International Global Startup Business Presentation at BITS Pilani, bagged first place with over 1 lakh cash prize at International Ideathon NMI MS Bangalore 2020, has also won the title Swarnim Entrepreneur of the Year organized by IIM Ahmedabad, has represented India as national finalist in Asia's largest B plan competition, Global Entrepreneur Business Pitch Competition Malaysia, again in 2019, won HALT Grand Prize National Championship for Droplet Water for All in 2018, has been shortlisted as a panelist and paneled on role of women in transforming India at Lucknow, represented India in International Young Innovators Summit at Japan in 2018, has presented HPAIR organized by Harvard University, Boston, USA, has been a presenter at Harvard, has represented India under the track of energy and sustainability, has also emerged as outstanding delegate in youth parliament debate sessions and represented rural ministry at IMK in 2018, and has also represented India in Asia Youth Model Union United Nations Bangkok in 2018. We welcome you, ma'am, for today's session. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. I think let me start my presentation by sharing my screen. My screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
It's visible, right? Just a second, just a second. My screen is visible right now?
Yes, Swati.
Okay, well, um, so my topic for the day is Internet of Medical Things, and I am gonna to explain about the overview, market trends, challenges, and the opportunities. Uh, Basically, I am going through the technical challenges and then coming up with the market trends and how innovative we can be in this domain and how different this domain is. Everything I would be sharing today. I am Swati Hegde, presently working as a business strategist at LedoLearning.com, and I was a former R&D engineer to Strategic Advisory Board, Defense and Cyberspace, BESIL, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. So before we start, I want to explain few of the points on the healthcare industry. So modern medicine, as you all know, it includes treatment for the body, mind, intellect. And any advancement in the treatment that must include and address health issues, early identification of the diseases, then the monitoring of the diseases or whatever problem we have, and then the tracking of the medicine, the food and the habitual analysis, and the lifestyle, that is yoga, exercise, and dhyana. So in urban areas, what happens is generally we have better infrastructure, but in rural and semi-urban hospitals, they do not have any good infrastructure that attract the investment for any technical upgradation. Next, the availability and the supply kits of the medicine in all the places is also very difficult. Then we have issues like anxiety, nervousness, and some psychological disorders that must be handled properly. Usually what people will do is they undergo for self-medication, and that is a huge issue in countries like India. Reporting the health conditions in a transparent way and keeping the relative cool is also part of the overworked doctors. 60% of the patients want specialists to take care of every small illness of theirs, but that is also okay to wait for long hours for this. Average wait is more than 4 hours, even with the appointment. That rush would be the hospitals nowadays. 70% of the people are not happy with the post-surgery patient care, and several cases of wrong treatments, bad injections are reported. So, and when it comes to the current scenario, I am explaining the global scenario, what pregnant women used to face during the lockdown and all. So it was very difficult for them to go to the place and deliver, or sometimes the the pregnant women, most of them would be turned as corona positive. So, and most of the times what happens is once they go to the hospital, the baby or the mother used to die. So these were the very problems that we face it during corona times. Even the cardiac patients and the old age patients also were facing similar kind of issues, that they couldn't travel to the hospital, and many of them gave lives in the homes itself due to cardiac arrest and other reasons. So what might be the solution for all this? How we can do it, modernize and innovate it in a very technical manner? The solution would be IOMT and artificial intelligence, where IOMT has already started booming, and artificial intelligence elements are also included in that. So let me just brief about what is IOMT. As you are very familiar with what is IoT. IoT is something where 2 or 3 or more devices can interact with each other. Similarly, this is IOMT, called as Internet of Medical Things. So it started booming once corona started. Before also it was there, but after that we saw tremendous startups coming up with the new products in this domain. So IOMT is basically the connected infrastructure of medical devices, software applications, health systems, and services. So basically, as I am showing in this picture, one stuff is interconnected with other thing, and everything is connected to the cloud. So this is how it works. It is used for patient monitoring, pandemic monitoring, supply chain management of medical equipment, and making the specialist doctor available, etc. And also the consultancy. These all are part of the IOMT infrastructure.
Swati, can you make it full screen?
Okay. Okay. According to the Deloitte report, it says that an increase in the number of connected medical devices that are able to generate, collect, analyze, and transmit health data or the images to the healthcare provide networks, transmitting the data to the basic cloud respiratory. So connecting between the medical devices and the sensors, capability to monitor data remotely, along with the stock management, supply chain management, etc., are streamlining clinical workflow is given below. So how to handle this? Let me just overview the points. In hospitals and clinics, we want patient monitoring system. So what is the present system is, there would be a lot of manpower required for that. Workers or maybe nurses, they should take care of the patients. And 24/7 monitoring is even difficult in the offline mode. So patient monitoring system, AI enabled intelligence over biosensors, and the efficiency is also good for this. Next is patient tracking, easy availability of records and easy update of symptoms. So basically they used to have a record of in a paper or pen, or maybe nowadays everything has been digital, and even that is also important. Once once you put the name of the patient, you will get all the details and the previous health records of the patient, and also we can track the patient. The another is the proper disinfections and cleanliness of the hospitals and room of the patients, that also can be monitored and taken care with the help of IOMT. Other one is stock management. So stock management is nothing but it's a last track, until last mile we can track the equipment and the supply. So what happens is, for example, some equipment has to be we want some equipment from which has to be come from Delhi. So we cannot, usually what happens is, until that equipment comes, the patient might even die also. So immediate tracking, or if anything happens in between, so that is also can be managed with the help of the IOMT. Next, in home, telemedicine or remote patient monitoring system help the patient suffering from serious diseases, and it avoid visiting the doctor frequently. So during Corona days, most of the old age people, and they deny to go to hospitals. So this would be something that would be really helpful, that patient can be monitored from the remote and given updates every moment of the time. Next is on the body. On the body means we have lot of wearable devices which can also transmit the data to the hospitals or the doctors or the nearby nodal centers, so that immediate responses could be taken. Next is remote areas. In case if the patients are far away from the physicians, IOMT solutions can definitely act as an intermediate medium to connect with them. Rural patient monitoring and all. But in the rural areas, we face one major issue, the network issue. If that could be sorted to some extent, then even the rural India could be digitalized with the help of IOMT. The other one is the accidents. So there would be a lot of accidents, and if something like this comes under the picture, then we can easily connect to the hospitals, and immediate remedies can be taken on spot, and can be patient can be taken to the hospital also immediately. So what is the family of IOMT, and what stuffs are involved? So biosensors to monitor the patients. Biosensors is something like it's a sensors only. Different types of sensors are merged together in order to monitor the patients. I would be explaining that part bit later. Next is old age and cardiac people monitoring. This is also very important because they cannot travel frequently to the hospitals, and also there are lot many equipments that is already in the market and that are under innovative process for the cardiac patients and old age people, where they can just sit at home, and their health would be continuously 24/7. It would be monitored. Then network to connect the sensors and the patient monitoring system, activity tracker, medicine tracking, RFID tags for patient tracking, and AI assisted robots for surgery. So lot many are there like this. So market on the map. When I compared the wearable health technologies and IOMT technologies, it is constituting around $14.4 trillion industry all over the world. And when it comes to India, it is staggering $372 billion industry. Just look at those numbers, and that itself shows that the market is so wide, and also the opportunities are very lot if we can invest something in this industry. So this is the medical industry overview. I had taken reports from different sources, and see how the graph is drastically increasing. When it was in 2015, so these technologies and were just booming, but still it was not of that importance. but in the 2020, 21 and all, it's shown a drastical high pitch, and see drastically how it is increasing by the end of 2026, 2025 and all. This is something that is booming, and really we need to give a thought about that, come up with the innovative solutions, and we can just make it as a product and sell it off. This is the overview of the health tech industry. 64.4% of average India and US population are investing in consumer health tech. And health tech market in India is $372 billion industry, and in US is $7.2 trillion industry, respectively. So 60 to 70% of the average profit margin is here in this industry, and also growth is also there. The market growth per year is almost up to 15.8%. And 200% of the health tech investment rate would be increased in India by 2022. It's almost increasing now, but we can see the drastic changes in upcoming days as well. Let me explain the major players in this domain. So IOMT market is currently dominated by key players with their technological expertise in the IoT market. So before, few companies were very dominating in the IoT market, and just now they had implemented the same technology in the healthcare, and now they are the global leaders of IOMT. GE Healthcare and Corning Kinji, Philips, Medtronic, Cisco, IBM, Siemens, Boston Scientific Corporation, Johnson & Johnson. These all are some of the major players in the current market now. They have come up with different products, and also they had added the unique value propositions to the existed products as well, and made it totally technically feasible ones. So TCS along with SAP, they had built SAP Leonardo platform, and they are the leading global IT services organization in partnership with SAP, and they are managing the intelligent field inventory management solution. Then, as you all know, Apple, they already have their smartwatch, and that smartwatch only, in that only they had come up with lot many features which is committing to the health system and monitoring, and lot many things are added in that. And even Google, Tesla and Microsoft, even these all rich giants in the software systems, are also coming with the IOMT space right now. So these are the recent devices to look at. So iWatch 6 has been released, and they had come up with the ECG monitoring one, which has made everything easy now. Just wear the watch, and your health is monitored continuously. But it's little bit costlier one, so that everyone cannot afford it. So if someone come up with a very affordable one, that would be very great actually. Which also monitors the sleep pattern of the individual, and exercise monitor, and exercise goals, etc., and pulse and heart rate monitoring. So
Swati, you change your slide.
Yeah,
Your slide is, I think it's not moving.
it's not moving.
No.
Okay.
Can you just check?
So you are
Yes.
seeing which slide? Which slide
Yeah,
number?
recent devices to look at. Now this is the slide. Recent devices to look at.
Okay. I think it's right now. I'm in the right thing. Just let me know, ma'am, if anything goes wrong.
Yes,
about
fine.
the slides. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So is it completely visible now? Recent devices to look at?
Yes.
Okay.
If you make it full screen, I think it will be good.
Yeah, it's full screen only now.
No, it's not in full screen mode.
Huh?
Slideshow, if you make it full screen.
Okay. Then I will try to reshare it once again.
No. Go to a slideshow and just make it full screen. So.
Okay.
Yeah, just try.
Right now, it's in full screen only. It's showing full screen in my screen.
Okay,
but
here it's not in full screen mode.
Okay, then shall I stop sharing and once again share?
Yeah. Just try.
I'll do
Otherwise,
that.
it's fine. Yeah.
I'll just do that. Try to do that.
Yeah.
So is it visible now? Full screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Full screen, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So if Apple, if somebody can come up with devices that can be very feasible enough in cost wise, then that would be really great. Next is we have Scan Watch as well, which can also monitor the sleep, exercise monitor, oximeter, breathing, temperature regularities, and all. These are some of the devices that are already in the market. So classification among IOMT sensors. So there are lot many sensors, different types of sensors, wearable sensors, disposable health sensors are there, basically for the diagnostics, patient monitoring, and therapeutic support. And these sensors are often implementable, ingestible, and they are like a strip type, very small one, and you can just you can use, it's like a use and throw type. The other one is ingestible sensors. These are the tiny sensors. They consist of fabricated integrated circuit and connected health sensors, connected e-health sensors that can be further categorized in the as end-use market sensor and the platform sensors. That includes IOMT wearables, embedded device, and invasive sensors. Actually, while you are designing the sensors also, there is one technology called MEMS technology where you can miniature the size of your circuits and come up with whichever the tinier size of circuit or the integrated sensor system you want. You can design your new sensors in whichever size you want and actuate it in a very tiny as much as it is possible. So MEMS technology is booming, and IOMT with a MEMS technology is something a very good combination where you can work in the both the domains, which consist of hardware as well as software, both the domains. The other one is wearables. Wearable sensors are continuously they are worn and placed in the direct contact of the human skin, and where individual's health is monitored continuously without interrupting. Next is smart clothing. There is also something like a smart clothing where you can wear those clothes and where your ECG and other health monitoring can be measured with that. So that is also one of the new trends nowadays. The other one I wanted to explain, this is called as electronic health pill. This project was implemented by one of my friend called Nihal Konan, and even I was leading the marketing in that team actually. So this is very interesting one. This is an electronic health pill which can be swallowed and which will stay in your stomach for some days. And if you have any heart attack symptoms, it will give alert. It will give alert and send notification to the any of your maybe nodal center doctors, or first only you need to feed there whom you want to just contact once you have any issues like that. So it may either contact your family members or either contact to your doctor, or either it can send the message to the guardian wherever. If you are in the remote place, if you are getting heart attack also, you can get the immediate alerts. So this product is feasible for someone who had already underwent heart attack at the first time and who had rescued his or her life, and the second time this would be some of the feasible solutions, and it's also already in the market. So see how the healthcare is coming up with so many technological advancements. This is one of the example for that. And also there are some other companies like where which had come up with a similar kind of health pills for the medical workers, for the patients, heart patients, TB patients, and all. And I will be explaining about some of the great products that technocrats must relatively know actually. We have Embrace Activity Tracker for epilepsy management. We have Motive Ring for activity, heart rate, and sleep monitoring. We have Vital Patch. We have asthma monitoring. This had been come up with by Cipla company for the symptom tracking and medication tracking as well. We have Google's smart contact lenses, which measures blood glucose from the tears. This is something very interesting project. I was very fascinated about to know more about that. Then there is wireless capsule endoscopy, e-Gnosis for early and accurate diagnosis. Then we have intelligent cap ingestible devices. So like that, we have lot many devices. And other great products are IoT versus AI cancer treatment for various products. As you all know now, we at a prior we had diabetic pens and all. Now that diabetic pens, whatever is there, that is interconnected again with our mobile system, with the apps, and our diabetic health can be monitored by us, as well as our doctor also can give us prescription and send the prescription and look at what is happening right now in our health conditions and all, because most of them has that problem that diabetic levels will go sometimes very high and sometimes it becomes very low, and it is very dangerous condition. And most of them are facing that. Around 70% of Indian population after the age of 35 and 40, they are undergoing this diabetes, and it's very common nowadays. So this is also is there, that is interconnected with our mobile system, and where we can just look at our every health conditions are monitored there, and also doctor can give us prescriptions. That is something there. And for asthma also we have the similar kind of system, and we have fever bands which can continuously monitor the fever and give medications, and gives little bit of sleep for the person, also if he's if he is undergoing dengue or similar kind of any issues, like or chicken pox or something like that. Implementation examples. I want to give implementation examples. I'll just let me explain my story itself here. So when corona hit here, like around in the month of March 2020, I had come up with one unique band called Go Away Band for the people under quarantine. It was first smart band actually when I had come up with, and later that was manufactured with the help of Unizen company, Unizen Technologies, Bangalore. We had implemented that product, and also I had handed it over to the government Ministry of Information, especially where we had a plan to merge it with Arogya Setu app. But the operation cost was very high, so we couldn't give it or manufacture it in a very bulk and give it to the normal individuals as well. So that was there. I am explaining about all the innovations that I had done, collaborating with different manufacturing companies. I would be explaining about that, just to give you an idea about how exactly the different innovations takes place, and how it can be taken for the next stage of implementation. So Unizen is basically the manufacturing as well as a technical oriented company, and a couple of products were developed there in the IOMT field. One was Go Away band, that was proximity alarming band, then digital fencing, that is Corona watch band, then thermal band. This thermal band was sold bulk for the TCS company. This picture, this is the thermal band actually, that to be just stick it to the forehead of the person, and the temperature is monitored continuously there. It's just for the temperature monitoring actually. This thermal band, the body temperature monitoring is better done on the body than the hand. So accuracy is not correct on the hands. That's the reason we prefer that patch design, which can be stick to the forehead of the individual. So it was overall 2.2 mm thick and 10 mm wide and 30 mm long PCB made using the flexible materials, and 0.8 mm thickness battery was there. And we had used the MEMS technology also to deploy this to the very thinner and the thinner we wanted actually, and the miniature size. The overall cost was, it was for 150 rupees for 1000 plus quantity when we are producing it in a bulk. So this was my Go Away band, the first band that had come up when the corona hit at India actually. So what was the basic ideology behind this was, this was basically the wearable band, which can basically detect the health symptoms. And if the person has the corona symptoms, that used to give us a red alert in the band. And if that person, during those times, what was the problem was the government had issues to control the public, because public used to roam everywhere, and social distancing concept was not to that not implemented to that extent that time, during those time. So what used to happen was people used to roam everywhere. So for that reason, in the public places and all, we had kept the beacon detectors. And if the person wearing this band, and if he's roaming somewhere, easily we can detect that if he's having symptoms, and if he's roaming, we can easily detect him. And the message used to go for the nodal center or the nearby healthcare centers or the police station, in fact, depending on the situations. That is how it used to work. And after that, there was one more problem. The policeman used to come to the house and used to watch whether that person, quarantine person, is at home. But now it was like we had used LoRa technology here, and if the policeman is just roaming around the lane of our locality, then he used to come to know whether that person is inside or not. So this was the basic working of the band. And also, Unizen had deployed the smartphone app to collect the qualitative data reported by the patients, and then they used to respond to the AI generated data actually. And expert gynecologists would be assigned for the immediate remedies. Even this can be used for the pregnant woman as well. And for the pregnant woman, I had deployed something different, only catering for the pregnant woman needs. I would be explaining it later. The features was live tracking, continuous monitoring, and 24/7 reporting to the nodal centers and all. So this was the thing. The next product was Asha. It was basically for the pregnant woman. So there were 200 plus million pregnant women in India, where 70% of them were belonging to the rural areas. This was basically done for the rural women, because most of the rural women were facing that issues to travel to the hospital, and before going to the hospital only, they used to give birth to the child, or some of them were conceived as corona positive, and even the baby used to conceive as corona positive, and that those issues were there, and their monitoring was difficult actually. So in spite of many government and private hospitals being infrastructured in both cities and villages, it's been of course difficult for the pregnant women to track their health. And the 99% of the maternal death usually occurs in the developing countries. So having all the statistics, we had come up with Asha, which can save the lives of the rural and the urban pregnant women as well, by continuously monitoring their health analytics during the crucial times of pregnancy. So basically, we had developed the digital therapeutic programs that follow the pregnant woman at their homes once they conceive, and we used to give that wearable band to her. And also, if she don't have smartphone, also that's fine, because her health been remotely monitored. If she has smartphone, she can download that application, and even she can feed the data to that, and her data also would be monitored, and she can look at that if she is educated enough to understand it. So it was the device in the form of smart band, which can be worn on the wrist, which can measure up to 15 different parameters of the real-time pregnant woman, including heart rate, respiratory rate, blood oxygenation, fetal heart tones, and all, along with some corona symptoms, BPM, temperature, cough symptoms, etc. And this is actually the pending product. In fact, that would be undertaken by Unizen in upcoming days. So the revenue model, basically the revenue model goes like this. When it comes to IOMT devices, it can be anything, either wearable or any patient monitoring system, whatever it is. So the revenue model would be like a three type. One is you need to license to the hospitals, big private hospitals, where your product is directly sold to the hospitals, and concerned department doctors would be involved in that, and doctors should prescribe your services or products to the patients. This is how it works when you are licensing to the hospitals. The other one is partnering with pharma companies. Not all the products, especially the wearable products and all, you can partner with the pharma companies, so that where we can get the product directly from the pharma companies, example band, then we can download the app, and we ourselves can monitor our health. So this is also possible. The third one is partnering with the government. There are so many health schemes by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So we can partner with the government itself, and whichever products we innovate, we can directly sell it to the government, and that government can implement it in a bulk manner. And for this, even we have got lot of fundings from the government if we are doing something in the healthcare. Even sometimes TST also provides if the project is very good. So this is something. These are the three revenue models. If you are going for it's a startup kind, and if you want to make a revenue out of that, then I advise you to go to license with the hospitals itself, because if you can at least license with 10 to 15 hospitals at a time, at the same point of time, so that your product would be in the market, rather than partnering with the government, means it's a little bit lengthy process, and it's a very bulk process as well. So in my case, when I came up with a pregnant band, it was for the rural, and I had to definitely partner with the government itself, because the rural ministry and everything, rural management is under government. So when it comes to go away bands and all, we need to license with the hospitals, as well as we also need to talk with again government also. So this is a combo version of that, and we, according to the type of product and the type of requirement, we need to go with the revenue model. There is one more company called Bioformis, which is based at USA. They also they undergo a lot many new innovative products for the heart patients and all. You can just go to their website www.bioformis.com and see the products, innovative products, how they had come up with that. So the next is how to convert opportunities into revenue. So it is a touch challenge for the mechanical designers, because these systems stay on one's body for a longer duration of time. So new plastic technologies and materials that we need to take care of, and the mechanical design as well, because it need to be very not very huge one, it should be variable one, means it should be tiny one itself, so that, and water resistant it should be, and it should have some weightage in that, so that it can it should not harm the skin as well. So that type of materials we need to use in order to come up with the variables ones, especially. Then very reliable but low cost system design, and it's a good challenge for the engineers, because this is little bit costly when we are going in a some 10 to 15 individual prototyping, and all, if we are going, it will cost literally very high. So the reliability and the costing system also we need to take care when we are designing something like this. Then very easy to use apps, desktops and systems, ample of opportunities for kind hearted programmers, in fact. But because this is not just the hardware, even software is included in that. And software part can be deployed very easily, but the hardware system, the feasibility need to be taken care of. Too much demanding database management, because when it comes to health, it is also the personal data, and we need to take care of database and data flow management as well. And advanced AI tools, and it's definitely the geeks with the futuristic thinking, and too many systems to maintain and keep it working, in fact. Then the ample of opportunity to make new designs and make money for entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, and students and teachers. What I just suggest is most of here are the teachers, professors over here can think of making a small group among the students, and make new products related to this domain itself, so that opportunities are more, as well as market demand is also there for these kind of products. Next is, as it is a new tech, we can we can promote Make in India. The other challenges are industry is too much conservative, too many legacy equipment and systems, and even mindset makes the ROI unpredictable. And it needs huge investments from the hospitals. As I told, the revenue in the revenue model itself, we need to target for the hospitals. So it is how that we can also tailor it according to the requirement of the hospitals. So once you are once you are in the primary research of any of the innovative products related to IOMT, first go and talk to the hospitals. And if you are doing it for cardiac patients, or if you are doing it for pregnancy, any of the domains, you need to talk to those doctors first and take their opinions on that, and also take what is exactly undergoing offline healthcare industry, and take their opinions, and how the patients are being treated, and what are the latest advancements and the technologies and the medical equipments that they are using in the hospitals. And depending on all that thing, you start your primary and the secondary research, because don't just blindly go with the flow, because it might be the problem also, because hospitals might have different things in their mind and different approaches in their mind. So according to their practicability and according to their things, you customize the products actually. Too much of compliance related issues and regulatory uncertainties are there, and this blocks the big investments in this sector. Next, training to the staff and handle the technology is more complex, because the staff there are like a manual staffs they are, and we need to train them with the computing skills as well. And it might be a big challenge for those people. Most of them would be uneducated, the basic ground staff and all. So we need to train them. That is also one of the challenge. Issues with the basic infrastructure like high-speed internet, especially in rural and semi-urban areas. So this is one of the challenge even we faced when we were designing those devices. So if someone can come up with some feasible infrastructure for internet at rural areas or some urban areas or some of the areas where we cannot reach at all, so if we can come up with those kind of places, then in those kind of places, if we can implement something related to internet, then I think we can easily promote digital India, digital rural India, very easily, in fact. So around couple of weeks ago, I was traveling to Jammu and Kashmir, and in Jammu and Kashmir, even in the city areas, we never get any network. That is the problem. In entire Jammu and Kashmir, we never get any kind of networks. So those kind of places, it would be a little bit tricky to implement this type of devices. But if we can something do with the internet and something do with the networking, we sort of debug the networking issue, then the things would be better. So multiple years of trials are needed to qualify the equipment. That is also there, along with the human trials, clinical trials. Lot many tests need to be undergo in order to fulfill the demand of the equipment, and then to implement or to come to the market, it may take some time. Then device malfunctions can be catastrophic. Meanwhile, the redundancy within a device, a tough ask due to a small and a low cost and a low battery footprint. This is also one of the problem. The battery issues might arise when it comes to wearable devices, and a robust self-diagnostic, self-debug design is very important for this. Then the UI complexity must be made simple and easy, which can be accessible even for the uneducated person. Self-diagnosis is one of the major issues in India, because whenever if any small issues comes also, we don't go for the doctors, we just do our self medication. This is problem, because if these kind of devices are there, and if they go on giving inputs to the people about the medicines and about the remedies that need to be taken, the people might stop going to the hospitals and consulting doctors, and they go for the self medication, which is also dangerous at some point of time. So this is also one of the challenge. Then the security issues with IoT, as IOMT includes patient monitoring, camera data, and more, must be handled with extreme security controls. Next is fake and cheap imitating products generally kill the R&D investments. Even these products have excessive harmful radiations and poisonous materials which may affect other devices used by the patient. So these are the few of the challenges that I also faced when I was coming up with the products, and these are the requisite challenges. These are the comparison of different IoT networks. Sigfox is there, LoRa is there, ECGSM is there, Cat M1, Cat NB1, and then now the 5G. This is a generation of 5G. So this is a comparative analysis of different networks, which can be feasible in terms of voice, reliability, coverage, and all. Just go through that. So the main challenges, just the points to remember: device addressing and device management, then the communication problem, security issues, privacy issues, and interoperability. Interoperability is something very important, where one device can be easily can be used for a multiple purpose. That interoperability feature, if that can be provided in any of the devices, then that would be great, and having long mileage. Then the legal, regulatory, and the rights. When it comes to design considerations, these are the points that has to be taken care. Extreme level of power optimization, low memory footprint, range optimization at extreme environments, that design should be able to withstand the feasibility, reliability, and in-field fault analysis and OTA. DFM and DFT, miniaturization, as I told, we can go with the MEMS technology, and also nanotechnology would be feasible, but MEMS is more applicable nowadays. Then aesthetic features is also important, because when it comes to band and all, if you are coming up with a normal band which can cater the health demands also, the aesthetic feature of the band is very important. The size and the color and the type of materials that people should feel very comfortable with, all those external appearances matters. Then the certification compliance, that's FCC, UL, and we have ATEX certifications and all. This is all about the presentations. If you have any thing to ask, just let me know and please ask me. Thank you for your time.
There is one question. Are there any harmful radiations in the fitness watches that are available in the market?
Harmful radiations, actually, we have Apple. They say actually it's harmless actually, but wearing it for a longer time it may cause some radiation effects. It may cause some radiation effects, as well as we have some radiation monitoring chips also, which can be attached to those, which will prohibit those radiations and harmful anything. If any harmful radiations are there, that chip need to be usually many of them use that even for their mobile phones. So as of now, there are not any such kind of devices in the market. Apple has all the different types of devices, especially when it comes to wearable bands, but people do prefer that. But wearing it for a 24/7 is something that need to be, at least while sleeping, they need to remove that band and sleep, according to my knowledge. Any questions related to this domain?
Yeah, what is the procedure to take the, so do you have to take the permission if you want to use a licensed band for your product, or what is the procedure to take license?
To take the license?
Take permission, yeah. See, if you are developing a product, so which needs a licensed band, frequency band. So what is the procedure? Because you have shown many licensed band, and what is the procedure if you want to use those licensed bands? How do we take permission?
Okay, so basically we have two steps for this. Once we need to see for whom we are selling it actually. If it is a hospital, they would be already having the license for that. And those hospitals only will take care of all the licenses if we are selling it to them. And if it is government, again, the government will take care of it.
And one more question, how do you handle the signals generated from the band? Will it affect the baby?
No, it won't affect the baby at all. So actually there is one more feature that I forgot to tell. So usually the fetal monitoring of the baby, usually what used to happen is the pregnant woman used to go to hospitals, and they used to come up with like, for example, there would be some physical device to monitor that and monitor that fetal heartbeat. But this band, usually the pregnant bands that are available in the market, just if they hold that band near the stomach, the baby's heartbeat could be measured, it seems. So to that extent, the technology has been developed nowadays, so that there won't be any that much of signals that would really affect the health of the baby and mother. One more question is there, how long it can be maintained? So the patient can wear the patient can wear it once she conceived, for example 3 to 4 months after she conceives, and she can wear it until her last times of delivery.
There's one more question. All these solutions are feasible in metro cities, but in other cities or rural areas, still we need to do
Have a lot of things. That is very true, because in the major reason in the rural areas is there is a connectivity issue, and there is a issues of network. So if until and unless we sort it off, that issue, it would be very difficult for the communication between the band and the whichever the nodal center it is. So it is literally a difficult challenge for the technocrats to come up with. But once that solution, I mean that for that thing the solution is being come up, then it is very easy for that, for them also, because usability and all, anyone can use it, no issues, even the uneducated person can use it, so that won't be an issue. But only the network is one of the issues there.
Yeah, there is one more question. I would like to know what happens to the information about the patient. Does it lead to information leak on the internet platform?
No, it won't happen. It won't happen. The cloud, actually, it should be the very secured cloud, and the license or the issue should be given only to the person, might be the nodal center or might be the hospitals. If we have a collaboration with Columbasia, say for about, so only Columbasia would be getting the information, and information is very secured. For that, we can use onion routing technology as well, where there would be lot and multiple encryptions for that data, so that it won't leak that easily, and only hospital would be having the security and license to deal with those data.
There is one more question. Yeah, continue, please.
Yeah. Do we have any variable to measure stress levels? Actually, this is under process. Actually, in foreign countries they are undergoing that, and even they are doing something for the psychological disorders and all. So lot many people, they undergo the stress, as well as they undergo depression and all. So they had come up with something, they are coming up still, but this is just the information I have. It's something like a headphone, which has to be worn on their head, and that will convert their weak weak mind impulses into a strong neural impulses, it seems. This is something I read very recently, and even Harvard is even Harvard, in Harvard lab also they are planning and researching about this, actually, because the psychological disorders nowadays are increasing, and also if something for the stress level, to detect stress levels or anything comes, it would be very easy. But with the variables, we can't undergo, we cannot detect the stress levels. It's something that has to be made for the head itself, which can detect that. Next question is, will go away band detect corona symptoms? Yes. The go away bands, the basic agenda was only to detect the corona symptoms. Actually, it was made for the people who are coming from the airports, from different countries. When they comes, we wanted to tag it to the people in the airport itself, and that person is relieved, actually, no need of quarantining for 15 days and all. So wherever that person might go, if corona symptoms get if corona symptoms is there, then we would come to know, the airport authorities would have come to know that this person had left and he had got corona symptoms, and we can take actions against that, or we can give that data to the nodal center or the police station of that region, and the further proceedings can take place. So for that reason that was made, but due to operational cost was high, we couldn't give it for the free distribution, couldn't be done from the government side. We had tried that also. The overall band cost came up to around 2,500 rupees, which was too costly for us to give it for the free, and it was reusable. Once the person is done, then after his quarantine days are done, that can be used for the other person. That's how it was planned. And again, RFID was also, even RFID, if it was a RFID kind of thing, we could have given it for a free, because it comes up to around 200 to 50 rupees per person, and that is just disposable type. Any other questions?
It can be maintained. Yes. Oh no, it's over. Can you suggest few projects for students in healthcare sector?
Definitely, ma'am. So I had dotted few of the projects that I just want to tell. I will open my slides. Similarly, this Google Smart contact lenses are there, no, which can measure the blood glucose from the tears. This is actually very costly and it is not affordable at all. So if someone can come up with this kind of lenses at a very cheaper price, that would be the plus point that we can go with that. And the other one is this patient monitoring system itself, continuous patient monitoring system for the diabetes and all. This is not exactly already existing in the market with a very high level things. So if somebody can monitor even the cardiac thing and also the diabetes at the same point of time, that would be a different project with consist of two different propositions. One is diabetes and one is cardiac, because cardiac and diabetes both are interconnected with each other, and if they can merge these two functionalities in one band, that would be definitely helpful. This is one of the project. And other one is, as I had done it for a pregnant woman, similarly it can be done for the cardiac patients as well. They had to take the inputs of the cardiac impulses, and then the cardiac patient's health can be monitored. Along with that, if they can add the diabetic elements into that, then of course it would be a great project for even it would be useful for all the people around 40 plus years of age. One only thing is required is one wearable band that is actuated with the app. This is one thing. And one more project they can do is, if they can do something for the rural areas internet connectivity, that would be literally helpful, because lot many rural projects are failure because of the network issues itself. But if network is there, then of course lot many projects can be implemented in the rural areas at a cheaper price itself. So that is also one of the sector where. And other one is, one of the sir is saying that something has to be done for the stress management. So that is also for the stress management and the psychological one. If they can come up with something, the headband, which can definitely show our stress levels intensity in our mobile phone, and also suggest something if they are undergoing stress. So for example, they have to wear it continuously, and if the person is undergoing or the stress levels have been deteriorating, it will be giving alarms or the reminders in their mobile phones, and also giving the remedies, like for example yoga, what kind of yogas and what kind of exercise need to be done, and what kind of food patterns he or she has to follow, and all this type of bot. It would be more like a bot. And one more thing is, usually during pregnancy, many women undergo depression. The reason for depression is might be they are undergoing the mood swings. The second point is their loved ones are away from their family. Maybe their husband or maybe their parents are away from the family. So these are the two of the reasons mainly why pregnant women undergo depression. So what happens is, during this depression time, she feel very lonely as well. So if someone can come up with the bots means where she can chat in her phone, or might be if she is wearing the band in that also, which is connected with the phone, if she can chat in their regional languages, that would be definitely helpful. Some consultancy only can be started with this plan actually, where someone can talk to pregnant woman in her regional languages and ask her about her health or anything related, or suggest her to read these books or listen to this music or do some yoga. That would be literally helpful. And even this can be done for the rural areas as well, because that's why I told regional languages. Using natural language processing, they can do it in multiple languages as well, so that even if the lady, if she knows only Kannada, then the bot can interact her in the Kannada language itself. So it's not only for the it's not only just for the pregnant woman, it can be done for the psychological patients as well, so that someone can definitely talk to them all the time, and keep them a little bit stressless. How do we partner with government? Are there any government departments we need to approach? Yes. Yes, there is definitely some of the fundings that government is providing in order to develop this. If they are students and the professors of particular college, that is there. If you are non-student or non-teaching, then also there you can approach individually. So in my case, I'll just narrate my story how I did that. any skill development program in the area of IOMT? No, there is not yet any skill development program. But if you are keen and if you have a thorough knowledge on IoT, that is Internet of Things, IOMT is similar. The name is just given as Internet of Medical Things, which is just for the medical domain. But if you are having the knowledge of IoT, you can just do anything with IOMT also. But I think there are some skill development programs in the domain of IoT. By government also, if not by the government, some of NPTEL and all, they provide skill development courses on IoTs. So if you can come up with IoTs, and if you are thorough about IoT technology and all, and also along with, if you know app development, then that would be of a great thing that you can do something in the domain of IOMT. Coming back to the previous question, I was a student there, and I got, when I was a student and when I had come up with IOMT devices, I actually come from VTU. VTU had given me some funding to develop that initially, but with the VTU funding, I couldn't do that. So what I did was, during those times, Aarogya Setu app had come, and I had directly approached the Ministry of Information on this. I had directly written the mails to different ministers, and also local MPs of my place, and also I had approached a few MLAs so that I can merge with the state government or not. But it was really not that useful, because state government ministers were not reciprocating during that time. So I had directly approached central government, and I had written them. And also, when this kind of product comes now, just don't forget to write it to the WHO, because they usually fund, they have a lot of fundings from their end, and they do fund the projects. And you can approach WHO India or WHO. If you know, it's better platform is LinkedIn. You can just directly type the people, and you can connect, and you can pitch your product to them, and they will definitely help. So when I had come up with, even I had approached WHO, and they had agreed actually to manufacture it in Germany and all, and to partner. But by the same point of time, the government Ministry of Information had overtaken my project, and I had signed MOU with them. So it's been already done there. So you can easily approach the government, take the appointment with the PAs of the ministers, and go and approach the ministers and pitch your product. Take a prototype when you are going, and pitch it to them, and tell them about all the costings and everything, and definitely they are gonna to help. If the product is very good and unique, they will definitely help. So there are two. If it is something related to information and the data, you can approach Ministry of Electronics or Ministry of Information. And if it is something related to pure healthcare, you can just go with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And sometimes the Department of Science and Technology also, they do funding, because the head of the DST minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, is also chairman of WHO. So there is interlink between that, and you can also approach DSC anytime. If there are fundings for those projects, of course you can avail that. If there are no fundings, you can directly approach government anytime, central government especially.
Any other question?
Any other questions related to funding or related to government? You can approach them via LinkedIn itself, because now LinkedIn has become more a professional approach platform. So, and you can collaborate with different manufacturing units as well. You can just check in LinkedIn and connect them and talk to them directly, go and meet them, pitch them, and do the things done. But before coming up with any product, just talk to the hospitals and the concerned departmental doctors once, and just to know about how the things are going on, and to know the current scenario in a very broader angle.
So any other question? She has given her contact number, so you can contact directly.
If you have any queries related to IOMT or any projects or any innovative, if you want any consultation related, any innovative projects, not only in the domain of IOMT, we are into defense, aerospace, cyber security as well. So if any final year projects, if you want, or if you want me to help to take it to the government officers or bureaucrats also, let me just know. Just get me the information. I will do the required needings. Because this domain is something very sustainable and we can see future for next 10 years down the lane. So if you can invest or if you can come up with some products in this domain, it would be sustainable for a longer duration of time. Because now due to corona, lot many businesses have been stopped, especially it's been a very big problem for the hospitality, tourism, and lot many industries have been there. Only the industry that has been booming is one is edutech and other one is healthcare. So if you want to do something very creative, please do it in the field of healthcare and edutech nowadays it's been very common. Everyone are starting some new online classes, online platforms are booming like anything. But the healthcare is something very tricky that that can be so you can do miracles and wonders in this domain. So keep it in this mind, keep this in your mind, and try to come up with new ideas and also motivate your students to do something in this domain, because you can reach it to the next level and you can implement that products also because it's needed nowadays. Is this domain open for architecture? Architecture, yes, of course. It's architecture means you would be most probably like interior designer or something like that, na? So I will just explain how you can do something with the architecture and IOMT. So for example, if you are designing any house, you can come up with a smart healthcare system for the homes itself, along with your architecture designs, or along with the house planning or interior design only, where you can come up with a advanced health monitoring system for the home, where it dominates the healthcare and where it maintains the healthcare of each and every individual of the home. For that, there should be one application developed for that home, and everyone's health details would be fed to that mobile phone, and any interventions, anything would be notified in that portal itself. And one family doctor would be concerned with the whoever the family doctor might be would be concerned with the total care of that family. That's how you can collaborate with your interior designing with IOMT.
So any other question?
Even in the colleges you can do for your students, health, you can just try, and you can try for your students health as well. You can just come up with something bot like for the students, which continuously gives them feedback, or which continuously gives them some tips about their how to take care of their health, at what time they have to sleep, at what time they have to get up, and what all the exercises they can do for their mental and spiritual health being. So all these things can be done.
Thank you very much, Swati.
Thank you, ma'am.
For a wonderful session on Internet of Medical Things. So you gave us an overview of Internet of Medical Things. What are the trends, market trends? What are the challenges that are faced and what are the opportunities? And you also explained about the projects carried out by you and how do we approach the government officials if we want to develop any products. And Swati is too young. She completed her BE in 2020 and she has achieved a lot. Thank you very much for handling this wonderful session, Swati.
Thank you everyone, and thank you Rajeshwari ma'am for giving me this opportunity so that I can share my views on this technology to all of you all. Thank you. It was a very good response. I got very good questions. Thank you all. Thank you audience for this. And I also hope that in upcoming days you all come up with your students. You should motivate your students to come up in this domain. And you can approach me anytime to my mail or in the LinkedIn or into my contact number. I would be very happy to help and
So
reach out your products.
we will contact you again for student projects, so you can guide the students for doing some good projects in healthcare.
Definitely, ma'am. I can also help them to reach to the government bodies and help them to get some funding and all, initial fundings and all. So definitely, I would be in touch with you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you all the participants. So next session will start at 11:30.